You know, in 2026, with everyone obsessing over AI and the cloud, it feels almost retro to talk about a networking certification. Is something like the CCNA, the Cisco Certified Network Associate, even relevant anymore? Or is it like learning to fix a landline in the age of smartphones?
It's a fair question, but it's actually the opposite. Think of it this way. All that flashy AI and cloud stuff is like a skyscraper. The CCNA teaches you how to build the foundation. And right now, the demand for that foundation is exploding. We're looking at a tech landscape where global spending on network security and infrastructure is expected to triple by 2030. At the heart of that, you still find the CCNA.
Okay, so it's the digital plumbing. But hasn't the plumbing changed? I imagine it's more than just plugging in cables these days.
Exactly. The modern CCNA 200 to 301 exam isn't your older brother's certification. It's evolved significantly. A huge part of it now is about automation and programmability. It's not just about managing hardware anymore, it's about telling the hardware what to do through code.
So, it's not just a legacy certificate that companies keep on the books for old time's sake.
Not at all. I'd say it's the barrier to entry. Companies like Cisco and IBM, they aren't just looking for someone who can follow a manual. They need people who understand the core of IP connectivity so deeply that they can troubleshoot when the fancy automation fails. It's the difference between just driving a car and actually knowing how the engine works. You can't automate a network you don't fundamentally understand.
That makes sense. The foundation is more critical than ever. But once you have that foundation, that driver's license for the internet, where does it actually take you in terms of a daily job?
Well, once you're certified, the career path is surprisingly specific. You're immediately qualified for these crucial frontline roles like a NOC engineer, that's the Network Operations Center, basically the mission control for a company's network, or a network support engineer. And it's the major players like Accenture, Wipro, and IBM that are actively scouting for this talent.
And these are jobs you can get anywhere?
That's the key. The global part is what makes it so powerful. A CCNA is like a global passport for tech. Unlike some certifications that are only recognized regionally, the CCNA is a universal standard. The IP protocols you learn in a lab in Singapore are exactly the same ones running the data centers in Silicon Valley or Dubai.
It sounds like a solid start. But for those looking at the long game, what does the climb look like? And let's be honest, what's the actual payoff?
The financial trajectory is where it gets really interesting. You start in an entry-level role, sure, but the CCNA is the first rung on a very clear ladder. You go from CCNA to CCNP, which is a professional level, and then to CCIE, the expert level. Within just 2 to 5 years, if you move up to that CCNP or CCIE level, salaries can jump into the 12 to 20 LPA range, especially if you specialize in hot fields like cloud or security.
I see. So it's the ticket to the next level of the game.
Right, and you can't skip the line. It provides the trunk of the tree. You can't be a top-tier cloud security specialist if you don't understand how data actually moves between the clouds in the first place. The CCNA pays the bills today, but it's the CCNP and CCIE that buy the house tomorrow.
So, it's about playing the long game. You start with what is essentially a 4-5 day sprint for the CCNA certification to unlock a decade of potential growth. If you had to boil it down for someone considering this path, what are the absolute key takeaways?
I'd say it's four things. First, foundation over hype. The underlying network infrastructure is becoming more critical, not less. Second, the CCNA is a global passport, recognized by top firms everywhere from the US to the UAE. Third, it's a fast launchpad. The course itself is relatively short, about 45 days, and it gets you straight into essential roles like a NOC engineer. And finally, the salary scales aggressively. You start with a solid base, but specializing with advanced certs is what leads to those really high-paying careers in cybersecurity and cloud.